2, 3.
Kate Mila Falls, you're very welcome along to the Brian and Ciaran Warfield podcast, the ramblings of two Irish balladeers, featuring Brian Warfield of the fierce and mighty Wolfetones and his son Ciaran, that's me, of the band Catalpa, and also of the Bandwagon Bus, Dublin's only musical ballad tour on wheels. So sit back, relax, grab a tea, coffee, beer or wine or whatever takes your fancy as we go rambling through life's misty foggy dew, through stories, songs, history, politics, life on the road and just a general bit of crack. we go. That's the Dying Rebel. That's from the Wolfetones Up the Rebels album from 1966, the third song. So that makes it our 18th official.
Well, it takes me back to Eamon and his studios again when we recorded that in Henry Street. And it was up on the second floor over one of the shops there. But it was a very primitive form of studio because, like, the way things have progressed since then, it was a 2-track machine, and they didn't have stereo, of course, and you had to record the main backing or whatever, or the main group or the main singer or whatever, and then dub everything over it, and that's the way it worked. So if anyone made a mistake, I tell you, they had to be eaten off them.
There'd be killings.
There'd be murders. And in between that, we went down. We'd have a couple of pints and then back up again and then back down for a pint.
The pints always make you sound better, anyway, that's for sure.
So
that's what I missed on Saturday or Friday when I did the charity gig down in the Scientologist place.
Oh, yeah. How did you get on with them?
Well, it was all grand. They're nice people, of course. They, but they fucked up my third song. They lost my voice on the third song.
Really?
Yeah. But they have a great setup down there. And I thought it might have been me that I'd done something, like, because I had plugged in my own gear,
Yeah.
Because of COVID and all that. Yeah, the band before us pulled out of there, DIs and that.
And
I thought I had done something, so I was kicking myself, And then the band came on after us, and then they lost their banjo from the same DI box. So I was like vindicated. I was like, yes. Yeah. Although I felt sorry for the fella on the banjo.
Not my fault, Your Honour.
Yeah. But the fella on the banjo, Dave Whelan, I think his name is, from Athy. He has a music store down in Athy, or a music school, sorry. Jesus, he's some banjo player, guitar player. So the banjo stopped playing, so he picked up this guitar and he was just playing it like a banjo. It was just incredible, but brilliant. I enjoyed listening to some of the other bands. A couple of the bands had pre-recorded, so they were lucky. The next time anyone asked me to do something like that, I'm pre-recording. And so it was enjoyable. I listened to the Invincibles were on, Paul Stone and the Invincibles. And then I was listening to Ross D and Dave Whelan. They were brilliant. And then I also listened to a bit of All Folked Up. So enjoyed it. It was nice. Well,
there's great talent around Ireland, and it's great to see that the ballad scene is as popular as ever around the country, and there's great bands. You just don't get the breaks that they should get.
It's definitely a folk revival, a folk ballad revival, out there,
Yeah,
I
think,
yeah,
there is. Lovely to see, and it's it all stems back 50 odd years, 57 years for our little start.
Of course, you led the way. You were the pioneers.
We had to make our own venues, because nobody wanted, to do music in their places. When we went to the forecourts and other hotels around, they were reluctant at first to do it. They didn't know the ins and outs of it. And then when we had a couple of great successes, everybody wanted to do it. So it just became a big boom after that. Any fella that could play 3 chords and a guitar was a ballad singer.
Yeah, why not? But the place down there, I've never seen anything like it. It holds 2,000 seated, and there's not a bad seat in the house,
Yeah.
And it's all done acoustic, perfect acoustics and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But some place.
That's where they hold their meetings, yeah.
No, well, they do gigs for everybody. It's not just for...
It's a proper concert hall.
Scientologists, they rent it out and they do run gigs from it. They had the whole... the chap I was talking to, the whole of 2021 they had booked out, completely booked out.
Really?
Unfortunately, then COVID denied them that. So that's when they thought of doing something else, like run the Stephen Leeson show, where Stephen just goes in and presents. And the High Kings use it quite regularly, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's a good venue. It's only down the road. It's right opposite the Speaker Colony, which is even better.
Really, yeah.
So
and they don't sell drink in there, do they?
They don't sell drink, no.
Oh,
No good for your crowd.
No good for any crowd.
Although you don't then no beer, no
beer,
no VAT, is it? No, what's it?
No beer, no VAT.
Yeah, there you go. You see.
I think that's why Christy Moore never had.
I know, yeah.
The bar open.
I don't like anybody drinking because I don't drink, and it's not.
If I don't drink, nobody drinks.
Yeah, it's actually saving VAT.
Yeah, but you're saving VAT. You don't pay any VAT.
Because it's cabaret. Is that what's class?
No, it's
no cabaret. You pay VAT.
But no. Once it's drink sold.
Yeah.
That has to be sold within the premises. Like it's not like a concert hall when you in a concert hall, if you serve drink outside the concert area, it's okay. But if you sell it inside where the concert is held, people bring their drinks in, but you can't buy them within the premises. Yeah. So that's the rule. Another one of those stupid rules.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Some of our licensing laws goes back to archaic times, like back to it's ridiculous. Like this whole thing now having to change the rules for outdoor drinking, like for car parks, people putting seats in car
outside,
parks. And stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's no end to Big Brother, is there?
No. Well, I was in Blessington on Saturday. Yeah, I went up to meet Gary, and we were inside bar, and I had done a great job of it up there in Murphy's Bar. Jeez, it was great just to be back to normal, just sitting.
I feel you're normal.
Yeah, and it felt like crack as well. Like it was good crack. The weather was good, but they have a beautiful marquee up there and a lovely lane full of. We were out the back, TV watching the football,
Yeah,
and
that's
the
great.
pints of Guinness were gorgeous as well, which helped.
I had one. Where did I have one? Oh yeah, I had one over in London. And I had one there, and it was just so good. Tasted so beautiful. And normally the English Guinness wouldn't be as nice as the Irish one, but it was every bit as nice.
I think, generally, once it's well preserved,
I think
people look after the lines.
They've standardised it now at this stage.
I don't think it's pasteurised the way it used to be now for travel because it's so.
Well, I know a lot of publicans over in England. They get their supply directly from Ireland.
Yeah, sure.
So they get
Brexit now, they mightn't.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, probably. But they used to
I'd say they find it harder. Like it's hard to get stuff from the UK now. Like even posting CDs over to the UK you have to declare everything in the package. Yeah. Whereas before you just stick it in an envelope, post it off, and no one would say nothing to you.
Yeah. Well, it's all the red tape that comes along with
I don't
everything.
think they thought Brexit through properly, in my opinion.
Well, they were very silly, I thought.
It's affecting us, though. It's affecting the cost of building over here. Like the building materials are gone scarce and hard to get, so it's going to affect people's livelihoods if that keeps going. So something needs to come to...
And the prices of houses, which has gone through the roof. I was listening to Pat Kenny the other day, and he said...
you don't listen to Pat Kenny.
Yeah, I do.
Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you?
And he... I think he's good. But...
never plays the Wolfetones, though.
No, he never plays. He's bad taste in music.
So what comes around goes around. I can't listen to him.
Yeah,
Sorry.
But anyhow, he was saying, "Where's my pint now? It's gone." Not that kind of a pint. No. But
Bet the houses.
He was saying, that the houses are going up by €500 a week in Dublin.
Jeez, I might put mine back on the market.
500 a week. So that means every time you hold on to your house, you're making 500 quid.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? For every week.
I saw mine back in January. I might get it back on the market.
Yeah. Well,
I'm holding off till I find somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you hold on because it's still going up. It's going crazy.
But that's the problem. I can't find anywhere because everything else is going up.
Yeah, everyone else is going up. Yeah.
Stupid money for small little kippy houses.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Dying Rebel because we never really got to talk about the Dying Rebel, and we normally discuss the song. So it's a song that I love.
I love it too.
It's a song that sort of doesn't name anybody in it, but it, like most of the 1916 songs, but it does reflect on the loss of the rebellion to people, like, you know. And I was doing a bit to see who first recorded it, and it wasn't you guys. The first official recording of it was in 1961 by Patricia Blake. Did you hear Patricia Blake?
No,
I can see by the vacant look in your eye there that you didn't.
Never heard of her.
And Patricia was on Glenside label. Do you remember the Glenside?
Yeah, that's Walton's.
Walton's, was it? Yeah, I was thinking that. I wasn't sure, but I was waiting for you to.
That was Walton's, yeah.
And then in 1966, just before you released it, Tommy Drennan and the Monarchs released it.
Yeah.
So, and then Dominic,
but we would have had we would have been in the studio at that stage anyhow, like, because like we were recording that 65.
Oh right, yeah. So you only released it in 66.
By the time it got to London and got to.
Dominic Bean recorded it for the 1966 TV documentary Rebellion at Easter. Do you remember that documentary?
No, I don't. No.
That girl you spoke about that you said was a lovely singer that went to America. What was her name?
Mabel Vanny.
Yeah. She was in that as well.
In
that TV documentary.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it was a great song. Like I put it into our 1916 commemoration in City West. And I did a whole new arrangement of it, and Tommy sang it once again. Great song and a great story. There were some great stories that came out in 1960 and all great songs.
Yeah. It's a song that goes down great in Cork. I know, because it's just at the end, you mentioned God Bless My Home and Dear Cork City.
Yeah. And why not the Rebel County?
Yeah, absolutely. So you were in London?
I was, yeah. I was over there on business, trying to get gigs right.
Yeah, trying to get Boris.
Now we have 2 nights. We have 2 nights in the London Irish Centre.
Or were you trying to sort your man out, the health minister out, trying to get?
Yeah, I was trying to sort out Boris Johnson, but no hope.
What's his name? What's the health minister that was having the affair?
I can't remember.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cummins, is it?
Dominic Cummins.
Cumming.
I don't.
But anyhow, I bought a comb for Boris, and he said he doesn't use them. But I think he goes to the hairstylist to get it done like that. So it looks tossed, but it's really, really designer tossed.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a wig, is it?
Yeah, no, it's designer. Because he has what do you call it?
His dad has a lot of hair, actually.
Hairspray. He has hairspray in it because it doesn't move in the wind.
His dad has a lot of hair as well, so maybe that's...
Yeah, but I didn't know that Boris Johnson was a Catholic. And he got married lately in a Catholic church, Westminster.
I didn't know that either. Not that it makes any difference, really, is it?
No, but I never knew that because, there hasn't been many, if any, prime ministers, Catholic prime ministers, throughout the years.
Yeah. No, probably not. But
yeah, probably you had to be church, the established church Protestant. Yeah. To take that fight. But obviously, he's such a Brit accent that he got away with it.
But his dad was in politics, wasn't it?
I don't know much about it. I remember him on that bloody show. What's that show? Get Me Out of Here.
I'm a Celebrity.
I'm a Celebrity.
You watched that?
Yeah.
So you listen to Pat Kenny and you watch that?
But sometimes
you're losing all credibility here, Dad.
Sometimes I'm made to watch it because June wants to watch it.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, well, that's your excuse. You're sticking to it, yeah.
No, it's shite.
Next of all, you'll be telling me you watch Coronation Street.
No, I never did.
We're just
last time I watched Coronation Street, Enid Sharples was in it.
Who the fuck is Enid Sharples?
There you go. Ask any old lad and old lady there to tell you who Enid Sharples.
I wouldn't have a clue.
She was a character in Coronation Street with bags under her eyes.
All right. The only one I used to love was what's his name? Les Battersby. I used to think he was funniest.
I didn't know him, no.
He was just a real character, like, with a crack.
Yeah.
As I used to, when I worked in the British, they used to make you put the Coronation Street on and in the pub, in the bar. So it was because the women would come in after work with their husbands, and they'd say, put on Coronation Street there just to keep them there for another half hour or whatever. so anything just to get to stay in the pub for a little bit more.
There you go. That was the play I never had to do.
So there a couple of weeks ago now, I was up in Newgrange and I did Knowth as well. And I have to say I was more impressed with Knowth. Have you ever been to the Knowth site?
I have. I've been to them all, in fact. And, when we made our video there ages ago for the 25th anniversary it was. And we went up to Newgrange. And at the time, they had no, exhibition centre and all that. And it was just, you could
used
walk
to paint
in.
the shed.
Yeah.
I remember going up and
the
painting the
you
shed.
just get over the wall and up there. And,
I painted the shed there. Don't tell me you jumped
yeah,
over
you
the wall.
paid at the shed. It wasn't much anyhow. And, it's the Board of Works that had it there. And you could ramble around to your heart's content. But they hadn't exposed all Knowth at that stage.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, Knowth isn't really exposed as such.
highlighted the stones.
Yeah. I think what they did more so was protect the stones. They've made little
A ledge over.
and protect them from the wind and rain.
Yeah, rain. Yeah. But we were up there. But years ago, my first encounter with what Newgrange was all about was a book by Martin Brennan. Mm-hmm. And he wrote 2 books about the Boyne Valley. And he had very interesting ideas about, about what Newgrange was. And he named all the stones. He has computer stones. He went down, where the 19 cycles of the moon. Every 19 years, the moon has a different cycle. So he had that all figured out as part of the Newgrange complex. So in other words, they were using it as a map for not alone the sun and the solstice, but for the rotations of the moons through the years. And obviously they had calculated everything at that stage, and that's a remarkable thing to do because, you're going back 5,000 years ago, and they were ahead of their time. So also the fact that the Druids had a wand, what they call the magic wand nowadays, whatever, but he had a staff, and the staff was roughly about a metre long, or a yard long, a metre long, and for that they had little cups made into the rock, and they stuck the rod into the cup in the rock, and when the sun would shine at a particular time, it would give information about the time of the year, the time of the sun, the time of the moon, the settings of the stars. So he'd done a second book, which is he called The Stars and the Stones, which was another great interesting theory. But a lot of the archaeologists don't like these type of thinkers because they look at it differently, and they're trying to rubbish his theories, which they've said. I think they banned him from going there at one stage.
Right.
But he went down to all the sites all around Ireland, and there's many of them, and he took all the stone markings and figured them out and everything. So it's a marvellous book, 2 books, and I think he was ahead of his time because now only some of the theories that he had are coming to light. Yeah.
And some of the stone markings down there are just wonderful to look at. I was actually just thinking about, the even in Knowth, they have a stone at the front passage and a stone at the back passage. And the stone on the front passage, I think, lets in the sun on the winter solstice, and the one on the front is the summer solstice.
Yeah, marvellous, isn't it?
Yeah, just but be able to line them up. It's just incredible.
That's the thing, yeah.
And then you've all what I liked about Knowth was that you've all the other little mounds around it. So you had what they reckon was that the big chiefs were in the big mound, obviously, and then the paupers around, but I seen this little one where it's a tiny little. So some fella must have been really poor, and the man, or either that or it was a dog or something like that. Like but or it could have been a baby, of course. Yeah,
Yeah, but they're not headstones as such.
No, but they're just they were burial chambers.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they reckon. That's what the girl told us.
There's many theories. Like according to Martin, he reckoned that it was kind of a university where the Druids went to train in their craft, and he reckoned that with the yardstick and the thing that and some of the markings there, they reckoned that the world was round because of the way they set up certain things. So also all the quartz stone that's in Newgrange is they put it on the floor in Knowth rather than put it on the facing.
Right.
So I don't know who was right, whether Professor O'Kelly was right, or I don't know who the professor was in Knowth, but he did Newgrange. But it's obviously the way he done it was right, I thought.
Yeah.
Because it looks like for that opening, that the quartz stone looking out, it really enhances the look and makes it more spectacular.
Yeah.
But at one stage, they reckon that the whole mound at Newgrange was covered in quartz stone.
Yeah.
And that over the years, people robbed the quartz stone and use it for building or chimneys or whatever they could use it for. It's a decorative, wonderful white facade on Newgrange.
Yeah. They reckon it was 43 foot high.
I think it's probably higher. It's higher than me, anyhow.
43 foot.
43
That would be higher than you, that.
I thought you said 3. I missed the 40 part.
43 foot high and 85 metres in diameter.
Yeah, imagine that.
But the girl that we spoke to said that the wall would have went straight up, like, even at the front, the way they've done Newgrange, you have that white quartzy look in the front. She said that would have went the whole way around, but would have been 43 foot.
Martin Brennan said that it covered the whole mound. So, and at the top of the mound, then there was a big granite spike sticking up like the one in the hill of Tara. And they have he had some pencil drawing from 16 or 1700 something that showed that. But obviously, farmers around and people around were taking the stone for building materials.
Yeah, because they didn't know what they were taking. There wasn't that whole thing about protecting structures back then.
Yeah, well, and the British were, in control of Ireland since probably the 17th century, when they really consolidated. Well, probably from King Henry's time, Henry VIII. But and then they devastated the country. So there was little appetite in Ireland for
preserving conserving
their history. Yeah. But thank God that's all gone, and now we can look after ourselves.
Yeah. Another one of the chap that was sort of just because it's COVID, like there was only 12 people allowed.
Into the chamber, yeah.
No, we weren't allowed into the chamber. No one allowed. No.
I was in there. Yeah.
No, I was in last time. I was up. But you see, because of OPW, everything is free at the moment because it's COVID. So people, if you haven't go on the OPW site, you can get into all the things around Ireland for free at the moment. Thing is, there's a lot of...
Listen to that, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, people are booking it online and they're not turning up. So there was only 8 people on our bus instead of 12. So 4 people didn't turn up, which is terrible, because other people are going online and not being able to get in.
Sold out.
So it's very selfish. Yeah. But anyway, so we had plenty of time to walk around the site, and the view from on top of Knowth is just unbelievable. You can see right over to the hill of Slane, which is another important site over there. And you can see down to Tullyallen and all the way over. It's incredible. But he was saying that they found post holes a mile outside of Newgrange site, now to Newgrange, the whole way around. It was ringed the whole way around by posts, protected.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Like a mile around, all of oak trees.
Yeah.
Like imagine the work that went into that.
Yeah, amazing though. It is an amazing structure, and you should be very proud of it. But the other thing that when I was reading like Geraldus Cambrensis, his story in Ireland when he came over as came over with King John, and he goes down and he mentions the dancing stones of Kildare, which are no longer there. But he said they were taken across to England, and they were re-erected in Stonehenge, and that's true. So he wrote that book in the 12th century.
Yeah.
So the passage. I'll read it out for you next week.
So do you reckon that Stonehenge is from Kildare?
Stonehenge is the dancing stones of Kildare, according to Cambrensis. But you got to understand that there's only two things he recognised the Irish for. He tried to demonise the Irish people in order to justify the invasion.
Yeah.
But the other thing he mentions is that he said, the Irish didn't excel at much except in music.
Yeah.
And he said the music is like something he never heard before in his life. He's gone to the continent, France, Germany, all around the place, but he never heard music like it. And he said they played the harp, and he listened to their harp music, and he said it's like a melody within a melody. And he was absolutely fascinated. He said nobody excels better at music than the Irish. Nobody in Europe. Oh. So that was a great compliment coming from a person who believed that the Irish had tails.
Tails?
Tails, yeah. He was trying to demonise.
Oh, right, so
and this is basically...
Devil tails.
Yeah, basically it would have been for an English audience.
Yeah.
So that like people would be saying, oh, yeah... it's a good job we went over there to civilise those people,
Yeah.
And instead of that, Ireland had civilised England,
yeah,
and taught them how to read and to write and everything else, and taught them music. So, and taught the Welsh music and brought music to Scotland because of the Irish people that settled there.
Yeah.
So, it was, and he says that in his book. He says, the Welsh owe their knowledge of music to Ireland, and the Scottish owe their knowledge of Ireland to the people who went there, the Scots. As you know, that the Irish were known as Scots back then. They weren't known as Irish, they were known as Scots. And Scotland was known as Alba, and the Scottish people up there who came from Ireland were known as the Upper Scots.
Right.
So a lot of people don't understand where the Scots came from. They came from Ireland.
Right, okay. So all Scottish people are Irish people?
The people who are genuine Scottish are Irish. Scottish.
Not the planters?
Not the lowlander Scotch, yeah. No, they're not. All the Macs and all the, all the clans of the west of Scotland would be all either Irish or Norse.
Very good. And while we're speaking of Scotland, that you've reminded me, I've promised someone that I'd do a shout out to them for a charity thing that they're doing. So I'm going to interrupt your train of thought for a minute. Actually, we're probably going to a music break after this because we're 35 minutes and we want Spain have beaten Croatia. Switzerland and France are on.
Yeah. We probably... Well, it was a great match, I have to say, there, that... Spain and Croatia.
There's been some great games.
Yeah, great games. Fabulous football, it really is.
It's just pity Ireland aren't there.
We miss it, but, we're not good enough, seriously.
When you look at some of the football there, it's just...
We're not good. We don't have the players like we did, and I don't think they're getting a chance because the Premiership just buy in players. They don't.
Well, the young fella there after signing for Wolfsburg, after signing the full contract there. So.
Yeah, well, we need 10 of them.
Well, that's a little.
10 more. 10 more.
Three decent players, 3 really good players, and 8 other half decent. Well, we've got goalkeeper. We've 2 good goalkeepers, or 3 goalkeepers.
Yeah. So. But you got to have a team that's class, and that's equal to the class that's around, because, and then to coordinate them all into a good team is the secret.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see it someday.
Yeah. So this is for John Aiken, young John Aiken, who died. Yeah. So I think John would have been 40 this year. So everything that they have, obviously have the charity over there called the JMA, which is to do things for various, they fund various things around Scotland. So Sean and Dec Keevans, who would have been Andrew that you would have used to serve you in John's bar.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's their son, it's Andrew's son, Andrew and Gillian. And they are going, it's called John's 40th at Paradise. We'll see Sean and Declan Keevans run around the outside perimeter of Celtic Park 40 times, which is approximately 20 miles, to raise funds for the GMA Trust. The JMA was set up in memory of John Morris Aiken, who lost his battle to cancer, and helps charities and groups who need it most up and down the country. This year would have marked John's 40th, so this is a special.
Oh, my God. He's a lovely fella, and he was over in Edinburgh there for his chemo, and we were over there a couple of times while he was in that facility, and he came down, and what a lovely lad. And he is sadly missed. I couldn't believe, so young.
Yeah.
We had just lost his dad a couple of years before that, 2 years before that. So it was really, really sad.
Yeah, for sure. And he was always great fun up at the Wolfetones concerts, So that's happening on the 10th of July, and anyone can. I'm going to put a link on the Rambling Irish podcast page on Facebook. But it's at ukmoneygiving.com, John's 40th. I'll put the link up because it's too much to call out. In the meantime, we'll take we'll finish up, will we? Because we want to go watch the match. We're 36 minutes.
Yes.
So I'll play out with two songs just because we're lazy fuckers and we want to watch the football.
Bye, we're going to the football.
Well, what you got to tell me what you want to play. We'll play one of your songs on the Catalpa song. So I'll pick the Catalpa song.
Yeah, okay. I've been working on a thing at the moment, so yeah, I think if you play The Crossing by the Wolfetones, Tommy sings it there. It's about the many ships and coffee ships that sailed across to America during the awful Gurtamore that we had here. So yeah, you can play that one, and don't forget. Anybody who wants the book, you can get on the website there and get the book. I got 200 extra copies done, and they're now back available again. So if you want a copy, get onto our website there, and you'll be able to get a copy. And I did get some cards signed by the group before we went to the lockup. So they'll stick one of them cards in for you if you request it.
And it's a great book, and there's a lot of the stories that
full of stories, yeah.
And that's where we got the name of this podcast from, of
that's
course,
right,
because it is, you do ramble in it.
And it's a very, very good quality book. It weighs like over a kilo.
Yeah, it does. It's a heavy book.
It's a heavy book, and the paper is like the highest quality paper that you can get. And I wanted it to be there, and it'll be there forever and ever and ever. Yeah. Because of the quality of the book. But it is a little bit expensive, but if you're getting quality, it's well worth it.
Who are you cheering for tomorrow night?
Who what?
Who are you cheering for tomorrow night? The Germans or the England?
Well,
it's an honest question.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to see. I don't follow any team as such. I just want to see good football.
You hate them equally.
Yeah. I want to see. I want to see good football. I want to see a tight game. I want to see a lot of trills and spills, and go to extra time and put the penalties at the end, so we can penalise all the English over there. So that's the way I like to see the game going.
Yeah. What about tonight? France or Switzerland?
Well, France are going to go through. I've no doubt about that. I don't think the Swiss are equal to the French.
And the other game, Ukraine or Sweden?
That's a tough one. They're equal match there. Sweden, a dark horse there, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm cheering on Sweden.
Yeah. I think they're the dark horse.
I'm cheering on Sweden.
Yeah.
So.
But anyhow,
But I have Italy as I put a bet on Italy, a tenner
as the winner
at 12-1.
Yeah.
So.
Great side.
Yeah, but they have to get past Spain now.
Yeah, well, it is like a European Cup, and it's like a cup final or anything, like surprises.
Yeah, but people could say that England are in the easy side of the draw because they'd have Denmark. Who do they have? They have Denmark. Let me see. Whereas on the other side, you have Belgium, Italy, and Spain.
Yeah.
So England are on the cosy side of the draw. So,
well, they could be there or thereabouts.
Well,
and remember, we've got 2 Irish players there. How's it 3?
You're talking about Declan Rice and Grealish?
Declan Rice and Grealish. Yeah, Harry Kane his father was from Dublin. So we could have 3.
Yeah, so if England beat Germany, they'd be playing either Sweden or Ukraine, and if they win that, they'd be playing either Denmark or Czech Republic.
Well, I definitely don't want to see them winning the whole lot out.
But the other side's much harder because Belgium, Italy, France or Spain, like that's that's
tough.
That could be the semi-final, like,
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll sign off with the crossing. Actually, we've made it up to 41 minutes, Dad, so that's great, excellent stuff. And the match is kicked off and it's 10 minutes old, so there's no score. Yeah,
we'll just play another couple of songs. Oh yeah, you can play Big Brother. I wrote a song about Big Brother.
You only get one because Catalpa are getting one, so you have to cross on their Big Brother.
Play Big Brother for a change.
Okay. Is that a happy song?
Yeah, no, nothing's happy in this world.
You're getting grumpy in your old age, writing a lot of grumpy songs.
Big Brother's watching you, you see.
There has to be another big strong man or something like that down the line. No.
Big Brother's different.
Yeah, okay. So we play a Big Brother and Catalpa song. What'll I go with? I'll go with something from the early days, the early Catalpa album. I'll actually go with the Catalpa song that I wrote. No, that's from the second album. No, I'll go with the Bloodied Crimson Field song about Croke Park and
oh yeah, that's a good song.
Bloody Sunday in Croke Park, yeah. Okay, thanks again for listening, and apologies for last week. I was just up to my eyes. I didn't get time to get up to my dad's. And
hard working man.
Yeah, getting back to normality.
Right,
thank
the
God.
match is on.
All right, okay. Go on, you can go.
Right, bye. Slán lad.
Slán, go. Take care, everybody. Hopefully talk to you next week if my dad doesn't head off to Spain. Good luck. Bye.
In these sad and lonely days for Ireland, our people shipped across the ocean wide. They left their footsteps by the harbour walls, and their dreams are in the hills, and the cabins that were home, in the fields and in the towns of Ireland. In our hearts we always will remember, oh, the tragedy, the hunger, the death and pain. In our hearts we always will remember all the millions that were lost, all the lives that it cost in those ships, those coffin ships, those ships of tears. In overcrowded ships not fit for people, the angel of death did cast its hungry eye. For many will die upon the ocean deep, and the children's hungry pleas from the thirst and disease in those ships, those coffin ships, those ships of tears. In our hearts we always will remember, oh, the tragedy, the hunger, the death and pain. In our hearts we always will remember all the millions that were lost, all the lives that it cost. In those ships, those coffin ships, those ships of tears. With a war day, made with a war day. Upon the ocean, their spirits are wandering on a lonely wave. The moon and stars will cast a loving eye. Build a bridge across the seas, place a cross in memory for each life that was lost in that Holocaust. It was just a game of football that day the soldiers came and shot into the crowd and said the people were to blame for events that Sunday morning all over Dublin town, when Collins's 12 apostles shot the Cairo gang down. When the shooting stopped, 14 innocents they lay dead, and a bloody sporting field had turned the crimson red, and Croke Park it fell silent as the times they drove away on a bloody, awful Sunday. Streamed into Croke Park, and tensions running high, and the day was dim and dark. The people in charge heard that soldiers might arrive to avenge their fallen comrades and take some innocent lives. And when the shooting stopped, 14 innocents they lay dead, and a bloody sporting field had turned the crimson red, and Croke Park it fell silent as the towns they drove away on a bloody, awful Sunday. Oh, the Aussies and the Tans, with hatred in their eyes, fired from armoured cars and laughed as people died. The youngest just a boy, whose name was William Scott, whose body was ripped apart by the bullets that they shot. And when the shooting stopped, 14 innocents they lay dead, and a bloody sporting field had turned the crimson red, and Croke Park it fell silent as the times they drove away on a bloody, awful Sunday. A young man, Michael Hogan, played for the Premier team, likewise shot down as machine guns fired and screamed. Tom Ryan gave contrition as his young life ebbed away, but he too fell upon that field on a bloody Sunday. And when the shooting stopped, 14 innocents